Okay, I am the problem. I went on a date with this guy and he was like, it's getting late. Do you want to come back to my place? And I was like, sure, but I'm not going to sleep with you. Like, that's not happening. And he was like, that's totally fine. Just come over. And I was like, cool. So I go to his place. He respects my wishes. He's so nice. He cuddles me all night. And I'm like, are you gay? Like, what? And like, I just wanted him to like try and then for me to be like, no. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to sleep with him. Now I feel ugly. This is what.
And I'm assuming that this is a joke, but in a sense, honestly, if you really just want to get down to it, this is what a lot of guys deal with. A lot of guys deal with women giving them false expectations. And I think that the best jokes, I'm taking it as a joke, but I think that the best jokes are rooted in truth. And so I don't know if this necessarily comes from her or if it comes or it's inspired by something else, right? But the reality is this is that this is a reality. Like this is real for a lot of guys. And a lot of guys experience women that gives them mixed signals and mixed emotions, which then lead to, and I think in a lot of instances, it leads to a misunderstanding or miscommunication between both of them because a lot of guys are not situationally aware and they can't read your mind. They're not mind readers. And even if they are situationally aware, I would not suggest for a guy to be a mind reader, especially dealing with modern women of the day. I know that there's a lot of guys that think that it's okay to just take what a woman says at her word, and then that is a thing. To answer her question specifically, and again, I think that this is a joke, but to answer her question specifically, yes, in this instance, a woman is the problem. Number one, I'm never going to be the guy, ever. I would never be the guy. I would never suggest somebody else be the guy that a woman sends mixed signals and emotions to where you feel comfortable going over her house or she coming over your house. And then she's saying, but we're not going to do anything. And it's late at night. Nope, never, ever. Now, let me throw a little caveat in there and say that this applies to women that you are romantically interested in. More importantly, if it's just a chick that you cool with and that's your homegirl and y'all been knowing each other for years and y'all whatever, blah, 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 she just need a place to crash for the night, that's one thing. But if we talking about y'all actually romantically interested in each other and y'all taking each other out or you taking her out or whatever and you say, hey, why don't you come back to my place? And she said, okay, well, but we not going to do nothing, then you need to go home. You absolutely need to go home because one of the signals for those of you that are not situationally aware is that when you go over a man's house or when you go up to his hotel room, there is no forts in between you. That's shout out to my dog Quentin. There is no pillows in between us. There is no cuddling, but no doing nothing. We got to be open minded to what the possibilities are. All right. It's number one. Number two, for me, and this is, referring back to one of the things that she said, if she says that we are not having sex and we not going to do nothing, I'm going to take you at your word. At that point, I don't ever want you to come back and say, oh, no, listen, but, she was giving choosing signals or whatever. In today's age, as of the recording of this video and going forward, we are now in an age to where you can basically be accused and be held accountable for something, especially if that was communicated to you, even if she said that she really wanted it later. Now, as far as I'm concerned, nah, it's over. Go home. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. We're no longer engaging in this conversation. Number three, women relatively often gives mixed signals and they still expect for no to mean yes and yes to mean no, even though that we in this Me Too phase in this Me Too era. I'd rather just be clear at this point. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I tell and I advise my guys a lot of times. Just very, very be clear. To be honest with you, I don't even have to deal with this because, I'm in a long-term marriage to where I don't have to worry about it. And she's more aggressive than I am. And so that makes for things to be really, really awesome. But on top of that, guys, I feel sorry for y'all. I feel sorry for y'all in this market where, a casual situation usually could just lead to whatever happens, happens. But now you got to ask her pronouns and you got to wonder if it's even a guy that you're dealing with before you even deal with him because it's a lot of people that's crashing out because they don't know what they don't know. y'all got to basically ask for their my chart. If they say that they from Atlanta or they reside in Houston, it's a strong possibility they got venereal diseases. They sending mixed signals. They saying that they don't really want it, and then they want you to still, ask them for it, even though they still gonna say no regardless. But they just want you to feel pretty. And it's so many different mixed signals that, again, I really do feel sorry for a lot of guys that are in this market and they've never got to experience being able to just be free and to just be vibrant without having to worry about all of that. And then whatever happens, happens. And women understood that if you go up to a guy's hotel room, that you was just by default automatically looking for it. Now, let me be very, very clear with my words that I do not advocate for, nor do I stand for anybody taking something against somebody against their will. But that's not the problem because we all understand that. That goes without saying. Where the problem lies is most people can be accused of anything at any time, even if they never did it before. And there's too many places, including New York, where they created the Survivors Act, and then in Los Angeles, where they did some version of it also, where guys are getting all of these lawsuits and stuff. And I don't, by default, agree or believe that a lot of these people are truly doing or saying what they claiming that somebody is did or said to them. Right? For example, we got the Amber Heards, right? Amber Heard will ruin it for everybody. We also went through the saga where it was a lot of these celebrity women that was getting into situationships and then they was claiming that they didn't get into it. And then even when we go back, and I will never forget this, the Duke lacrosse team, where the woman came in and she was looking to bust it down for a real one or several real ones. And then she accused the Duke lacrosse team and they all got messed up and jammed up and then they lost their scholarships and ruined their reputations. And then it found out that she was lying and then she wasn't really held accountable as a result of it. So people lie. People lie. People put on. People, say that they're going to do one thing. It doesn't necessarily translate into that. And I think that it's a slippery slope and it is a difficult terrain to navigate through. If you are a man, especially if you are a successful man, and they know that you're successful, because you could then be looked at as a lick, as a come up. Too many guys is already being used and programmed in women's phone as food. And I just think it's much easier and less difficult. And I know that some people think that the solution is to just get your passport, but let me also remind you of something because I just recently, and I'm going to actually review this video. I just recently seen a video where a guy got jammed up overseas because a woman accused him of something that he didn't do. And so y'all by default just thinking that every woman don't think the same and that they don't have the same sentiment as far as looking at men as a come up, or they just going to be moved a little bit differently just because they're in another country. And again, I think that people should go and travel and experience different things. And if you find love in a completely different country, then that's cool. But just protect yourself. That's what I'm saying to you. Protect yourself. Be careful. Don't be around people that's going to get you jammed up. Understand that women are fickle. Take them at their word and make them sign that paperwork if they decide that they want to be in your presence, especially if you're a successful guy. All right. That's my advice. That's how I'm moving. I'm curious as to what you guys think. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. It's a lot of people that just recently signed up. And we dropped a video this past Sunday. And we doing Stock Club this Saturday. And we dropping another video this Sunday. And so we just going to absolutely keep hammering you over the head with the thing that's in your best interest to have you going in the direction that you're supposed to be going in with a group of people that's going in that same direction. All right. If y'all are part of the Patreon, make sure you tap into the Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos inside of the Patreon. I love you guys. I appreciate you. You guys are the greatest on earth. I cannot wait to read your comments. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.